Hello. And welcome back to the Wings and Riffs podcast. I am your host, WinglessValkyrie, also known as Torsten Nogel, alongside once again, just like last time, in the flesh, Riffs, also known as Jackson Komike. Thank you guys all for coming out to the podcast. Welcome back to the return of the podcast. We have been away for quite a decent amount of time, but we are back. We are doing this once again here in person, and it will become a bi-weekly thing with both of us in person, unless any untold, things happen. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you very much for coming out. If you do enjoy the show, be sure to tell your friends about it. If you want to support the show, we do have a sticker of our logo designed by the wonderful Tora Dasushi. You can find that in the links down below in the description of whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. Also, if you wish to join the podcast as it happens live on Twitch, be sure to head over to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Wings and Riffs podcast. Without further ado, Jackson. Hello.
Hi.
We're back. We're doing this. It's exciting. It's fun times. My microphone's peaking. I'm a little too loud. Everything's exciting.
So everything's back to normal.
Everything's back to normal. There's technical issues. I don't know what's happening. Shit looks janky, but it's all going well. It's all going down in the hizzy. I feel weird saying that. That was the wrong vocabulary to take, but it's
the hizzy.
I don't know.
What is even that from?
I don't know. It just came up. Okay, I didn't choose.
I'm Danish. I'm surprised you didn't go to your go-to.
I'm Danish. English isn't my first language. Yeah, that explains why I said hizzy. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. That makes sense. All right. Well,
10 out of 10, man.
Thank you. All right. Well, we're starting off strong. I'm glad we're starting off strong with fucking down in the hizzy. So we are back. We are, of course, you're in person. And last time when we talked about Metal Dice, which was a very exciting podcast, if you haven't seen any of or listened to any of our latest podcasts, you can go back in our history and check out all the previous ones there. Well, latest as in, like, if you want to know more about this podcast and what it has the potential to be, you can check out any of our past podcasts. We have a couple of special guests. I highly recommend checking out the one we did with Elspeth Eastman. She's a voice actor, most notably known for playing Tristana in League of Legends. We also have a two-parter podcast with Sif Savory of Hikarian Productions.
That's because we went like way over time.
Yeah, that one was it was a little over an hour. I think it ended up being like an hour and 20 or an hour and a half. And Anchor, by the way, listen to us on Anchor. You can leave us automated voice messages.
Yeah, give us the plug.
You can leave us voice messages on Anchor, which we can then listen to and respond to live on the next show. And if you want to watch that happen, once again, twitch.tv/Wings and Riffs podcast. But we have two primary interviews with Sif Savory of Hikarian Productions, which is responsible for the animation Tales of Zale. You can check it out on YouTube. I believe the first 3 episodes are up. And then Elspeth Eastman, who's a voice actor who's done a variety of things.
How did we get her?
Twitch DMs, quite literally, which is a thing nobody uses. Twitch Whispers, and which is essentially Twitch DMs, all under the same thing. Nobody uses them, but I sent out a message to her. I think it might have helped that I was a subscriber to her, so she could see that. I believe that might have helped. But that wasn't the intention. I'd messaged a bunch of streamers that I really, really enjoyed watching, and like I knew their work outside of streaming as well. Mm-hmm. And she responded to me within like a day.
Which is impressive.
Yeah, and she was like, the only other person who responded, ironically, was Tim the Tapman.
No way!
Yeah, he responded to me. He was like, thanks, man. I'm way too busy, though, but I would love to do it. Thanks, though. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. I'm surprised he responded anyway.
No kidding.
Tim's not a small streamer by any means.
No, not at all.
But yeah, Elspeth Eastman, she responded like a day later, and she was like, yeah, that'd be great. When's it happening? And I was like, oh shit. She's down. Like, no questions asked. Not like I can only do it at this time kind of thing, because I expect, usually you have to work around other people's time because they're bigger people and have a lot of stuff going on. But she was just like, yeah, no, I'm down. When's it happening? I was like, oh, sweet. And so that happened. So
and we went, and we were terrible.
Well, and we also had a horrible audio problems happening where her audio was cutting out, our audio was cutting out. It was all bad. But it was still a good podcast nonetheless.
It was still fun.
It was still fun. It was still interesting. I really don't like that there was audio problems happening on a podcast, but oh well. Hey, what can you do?
I'm just happy we got someone who is like actually big.
Yeah.
On our tiny ass little podcast.
Yeah. Well, and not to say that. Sorry, Sif, if you're listening.
Well,
Jackson's throwing shade at you.
No, I'm not throwing shade. I'm being like, I'm happy we got anybody on the podcast at all.
That's fair.
That wasn't like, one of our friends.
Yeah, because I was about to say, like, we've definitely had as well, like, our friends show up on the podcast.
Which has also been awesome because, just hanging out with friends is great too.
Yeah, this is very true. I mean, like, who have we had? I think
Sushi.
Sushi was our first guest, I believe, we ever had. And
Did we ever get Daltor on here?
I think so.
I thought we did.
I think we had Dalton on as well. Yeah, we had Sushi, we had Dalton, we had Ashy, we talked about her cosplay. Who else did we have? We had Mike.
Oh yeah. Long time. That was a long time ago.
A long time ago. He came on for a little bit and talked about Final Fantasy, and
neither of us were like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he also talked about Baldur's Gate 3, which was at the time coming out, and now it's out in early access. So,
yes.
Yeah, so that was good times. But yeah, so we've had a couple of different people on, and I want to start doing that again. Of course, I don't want to start doing it early because I want to get the ball rolling again, so I could be like, because it looks bad when you're like, hey, do you want to be on a podcast? Sure, what's your podcast about? Well, we haven't done an episode in 4 months, or like, however long it's been. Or no, it's been over a year.
Oh yeah, it's been like way over a year.
Oh, yikes!
Like
I'm old. Holy shit!
I know we're old.
Oh god,
I'm with you, dude.
Halfway to 50, never felt so bad.
Never felt so good either.
No, no.
Because we never been there before.
All right, well. Let's take a moment to address the chat room. Mr. Friday sends a ton of emojis. Thank you very much, Mr. Friday. How you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic time. And Ethereal Ashley, that feel when my only friends are on the podcast. What do you mean your only friends? I'm sure you have more friends than
I think
just
she
us.
meant, like, only my friends are on the podcast.
What? I don't
know, man.
Okay. Are you well, I mean, to be fair, I'm not friends with Elspeth Eastman either. I only met her the one time.
That's way before we started talking about that.
Oh, no, I have y'all, Alex and Kendra. That's it. Oh, you mean watching the stream? I understand. Those are my friends. I getcha. Well, nonetheless.
See, I was right.
Okay, well, that's because you're more big brained than me. Clearly,
Big brain.
There was no question.
Chunky
there.
brain,
yeah,
even. Chunky's dead.
Your brain dead? Is that what you're
Absolutely.
Going here? Got it. Brilliant. Good to know.
Why do you think I'm building brainless robots? That epic segue.
It all clicks. Brilliant. Why am I building brainless robots? Because they resemble me.
And they're also pompous pricks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the ones that can think.
Yep.
At least.
All of them. Every single one of them. A dick.
Okay. Well,
including Orican and Trazyn. They're both dicks.
I mean, Nemesaur Zandrek is not he has prick tendencies.
He also has robot dementia.
That's also true. For those who have no idea where we suddenly streamlined into, we were talking about the tabletop game Warhammer 40,000, or simply known as Warhammer 40K. If you are new to our podcast, this is a podcast where everything is totally unstructured and we do not have a script or an idea of things to talk about before the beginning of the stream. But we usually would just kind of talk about what's on our mind, what's going on in the nerddom in terms of Dungeons and Dragons, Warhammer 40,000.
In terms of us.
In terms of us in general and personal lives, and just anything that comes up. So that is why it is called Wings and Wrists Totally Unstructured, because it is totally
like we unstructured. Literally like we talk like just random stuff beforehand, and we're talking random shit now.
Yes.
Like things may pop in from what we had talked before, but we're not like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna talk about this.
No.
We just kind of like, you know what?
Well, actually, no, that's not entirely true. There have been a few times where you or I will start talking about something, and we'll be like, save it for the podcast. Don't talk about it now.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, you could bring it up again on the podcast, but it doesn't have that energy.
No, it doesn't.
Because I've already heard it, so it's nice to just do it.
Like the energy of me living here permanently now.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
I live in Kelowna.
Yes. Oh,
yay.
For those of you who don't know, the podcast takes place in Kelowna. I don't know if that means anything, but cool
I
fact.
live here now. I never did before.
This is true. He always we started off doing this podcast over Skype. Good old Skype.
Good old Skype.
And then we got Discord, and we did it over Discord, and then occasionally we did it in person. And the last one before this one was done in person, and you were just here visiting, and you never went back. You stayed.
I went back. I came back here a couple months ago, but we've been busy as all hell.
Yeah.
As soon as I got back, it's like, hey, we're doing a lot of D&D now.
Well, to be fair, we were doing a lot of D&D before. Oh no, well,
I guess the same.
Yeah, the virus kind of messed that up. No, we still did. We still did Curse of Strahd throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, Curse of Strahd never really slowed down or anything. You just I didn't have to set up monitors, webcams, microphones, and all that stuff anymore.
Mhm.
So that was nice.
I get to prank Ashy too,
Yeah,
which is great.
which is also great. That was also fun. Speaking of Ashy, she says in chat, when Jackson gets called Big Brain. Whoa. Strong feelings coming from Ashy, who is now a little bit more than just a friend. If you want to talk about that, or if I just threw you under the bus on something you don't want to talk about.
I mean, why wouldn't I want to talk about her?
I don't know.
She's great,
Well, yeah.
especially to me.
Well, yeah. I have nothing else to say about that, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're a thing. If anybody cares,
We're a thing.
It's great.
We're a thing as in me and Jackson.
we are always a thing, my friend.
Oh, you can't see this because you were not watching the live stream, but he just touched my thigh and it was very sensual.
See, I could do shit like this now.
Yes,
And I
you
can get you on edge.
Absolutely.
Because
I'm always on edge. What are you talking about? I'm very at ease. Anyways.
that was the most premeditated.
It was totally seamless. All natural. What are you talking about? I wasn't fucking stiff or worried at all.
So, I mean, for background on that, Torsten used to do that all the time to me, as kids, as we were teenagers.
Oh, for the record, for those of you not watching the podcast, I'm sure you heard the smack smack. That was me very stiffly and robotically going and patting his thigh.
Yeah. Torsten used to do this to everybody, do stuff like that. He'd just grapple himself onto people, and that was that. And it used to bother me a whole lot until I started doing it back to him, and now it just bothers him. It's pretty fucking great, actually.
Which, just goes to show that I can dish it, but I cannot receive it back. I am absolutely A-okay to go up to someone and pat them on the shoulder, or in a joking way, don't cancel me Twitter, grab their thigh kind of thing, because we're close friends. But then as soon as they do it back, I'm like, whoa.
Oh shit.
I am so used to me being the instigator here that as soon as it gets escalated, instigates back, I get cold feet and I'm like,
oh hell no, I'm out of here.
Oh no. This is what they feel like, but also not what they feel like because they're reciprocating. But if they're doing that out of fear, then maybe I should stop doing that.
If it's me, it's out of spite.
Fair.
It's out of you've done this enough to me. I'm gonna do it right back, buddy.
Yeah, that's fair. And I've never had it done back because everyone's typical thing is Torsten, stop, go away, you're annoying, kind of thing. So when it happens back, then I'm like, oh.
Oh no!
This is a feeling I don't know how to deal with. So, Ashley says in chat, quote, "We're a thing." Gestures at Torsten. See, Ashley understood where I was going.
Yeah, of course. She gets me.
Yeah,
She understands.
Bada boom. So yes, you are here in person. You live here in person now, so this will become the regular thing. You also have now a relationship brewing with Ashley, who I'm sure.
What do you mean brewing?
Well,
It's a full-on thing, bro.
Okay, well, sorry, brewing is the wrong thing. It is now
It's now a thing.
It's not brewed. It has brewed. It boiled. It is now settled. The craft dinner is ready for serving. The water is fixed.
Yo, Ashley, we just got freaking compared to craft dinner.
I had craft dinner recently.
No.
Okay, I thought of brewing, and then I thought of water boiling, and I was like, yeah, you have to boil water for craft dinner. Well, I don't know that because I just did it.
Oh no, Tor.
I'm sorry. Your relationship is craft dinner to me.
Yeah, you're gonna eat that shit up.
Okay. Our relationship is craft dinner. You heard correctly, Ashley. Sweet. There, no problem. The other half has said it's fine.
I know, right?
There's no issues anymore.
We have the same brain. It's fine.
Yes.
Don't you worry.
Thank you, Aranthus, for following the podcast on Twitch. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Zach,
all right.
my boy.
Zach, my boy. So, we used to have a segment on this podcast where you deemed it the after action report or the after action hour, something like that. It was after action, insert time frame here. I believe it was the after action hour, because usually the podcast happened a day or two after D&D.
Right.
That doesn't happen anymore because the podcast is going to be bi-weekly, so every second Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So unless suddenly we have a campaign that's happening every second Saturday, then it doesn't work so much. But
yeah, not quite.
But last time you talked about D&D on the podcast, I can't even remember what game you were talking. I think we were still talking about Storm King's Thunder at the time.
We were absolutely still talking about Storm King.
Because this was pre-virus time, so Storm King's Thunder was still going on at that point in time. So for any of our listeners who are really keen to figure out what happened next, I don't know, because unfortunately we've had to put Storm King's Thunder on hiatus. Hopefully they're going to bring it back here in 2 months' time now that everything is starting to reopen and time schedules have opened up a little bit more for everybody else. But it's been on hiatus basically ever since the virus became a thing, which is unfortunate. But, I mean, it didn't really slow us down in terms of D&D, because then instead of Storm King's Thunders, we just did Curse of Strahd.
Which was great, by the way.
It was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed playing that. And
I died a lot.
Yes.
As is the usual, apparently.
As is the usual. You did die a fair bit. But you guys ended up finishing the campaign. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing it quite a bit. And then I debated doing another pre-written campaign between Descent into Avernus or Rime of the Frost Maiden. And I was going to do Rime of the Frost Maiden because that seemed to be what everybody was more interested in.
I mean, Rime of the Frost Maiden does seem really freaking cool.
It is super dope. I love both Descent into Avernus and Rime of the Frost Maiden. For those of you unaware, Rime of the Frost Maiden and Descent into Avernus and Curse of Strahd are all pre-written Dungeons & Dragons adventures. So it's essentially like you give the storybook to the Dungeon Master, and the Dungeon Master, really all he has to do is read the story to the players and then react accordingly.
Yeah, and act out the story as well.
Do all that other stuff, but like there's no...
Bring it to life.
Yes, like the whole story and everything is already written and ready for the DM, so he doesn't have
Which
to do
is
any of that
handy
work.
as all heck.
Yes, it's very nice. It makes for far less work instead of homebrew, and now I thoroughly know the difference. We'll get to that. But yeah, so I was going to do... I love Descent into Avernus, primarily because, I mean, it's Avernus. It's hell.
We're going to hell, boys.
No other campaign takes place in hell, quite literally hell. So everything is, burning fire and brimstone, and the river sticks of blood and devils and demons, and it's just
Skulls
like...
for the Skull Throne.
Yeah, okay, well, that's a different thing altogether.
Same place.
Whatever.
May as well be.
So, yeah, sure, same place. But
The Blood God.
it's a really exciting place, and I would love to run an adventure there, but not for new players, because holy shit, is it harsh.
Absolutely not.
It is punishing.
It'll like eat you up and chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah, it won't even spit you out. It'll just stay. You will stay in that toothy maw, dying and disintegrating forever. It is harsh and awful, but I still want to run it because it looks fun for veteran players. Rime the Frost Maiden you could absolutely do for newer players, and I just think overall the story for Rime the Frost Maiden I enjoy more than Descent to Avernus.
Descent to Avernus, it goes to like 13.
Yes, Descent to Avernus goes to level 13, and Rime the Frost Maiden, I believe, also goes to level 13.
Nice.
I could be wrong. It might be like level 12 or something. If we get a fact checker in chat to check that for me, that'd be appreciated. But I just liked Rime the Frost Maiden's story overall better. Not to say that Descent to Avernus is a bad story by any means, but just overall, I looked at the two of them, and like I also would like to have run Rime the Frost Maiden over Descent to Avernus.
But you also want to play it.
Well, I want to play in every adventure I read, but reading them kind of spoils it for me because I'm like, well, I know every twist and turn now, but I still want to play it. But oh well, it is kind of thing. All right, so our residential fact checker, Ethereal Ashy, Frost Maiden is 1 to 12. Bingo. So there we go. So one level difference. Yeah, Avernus is to 13, and Frost Maiden is still 12. So one level difference.
So relatively around the same.
Relatively around the same in terms of power level, kind of thing. So but yeah. I still want to run either one of those two campaigns. I don't know if I'm going to get the chance to anytime soon.
Probably not.
Probably not, just because now I'm doing a homebrew campaign.
Yeah.
And that's been an experience and a half. Holy fuck.
Yeah. Thanks for actually almost killing us all.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. To play that DM versus player mentality. Absolutely not. I'm joking.
Yeah.
But before we get into the homebrew campaign, let's catch up here on the Twitch chat. If you want to join our Twitch chat, be sure to follow and watch the live podcast as it happens, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over at twitch.tv/Wings and Wrists Podcast. So we have Aranthus says uses brewing but doesn't compare it to coffee or alcohol. No, only craft dinner. That's freaking your average virgin compares it to coffee or alcohol. Your residential Chad compares it to craft dinner.
Damn.
Lord Ghostcat says hello, you sexy beast. Also hi, Tor. Oof.
Get absolutely shit on.
I trimmed my beard and everything, but all right.
I did too, but I have not.
I'd say yours is more of a goatee than a beard.
Yeah, I know.
So, could you grow it out as a beard if you wanted to?
Probably.
Because you have hair on the other side, so it's like it's
I
not
could,
like it doesn't grow.
But my significant other wouldn't like that.
Oh, fair. See,
and I also would get quite annoyed with it because I get annoyed with it even when it's more than this.
Oh, fair enough. See, the trick to it is just like you have it before you meet your significant other, and then if they have a problem with it, then you just pull the card. Oh, you're asking me to change for you, and then they get real. Then they back into a corner. They're like, well, I wasn't saying that kind of thing.
At that point, you're just being manipulative.
Okay, well, to each their own. But no,
listen here, you little shit.
But an actual legit thing for all my beard friends who probably already know this, beard oil, that shit, never have a problem with kissing a man with a beard ever again. It softens it. It's like a pillow. It's no longer prickly and pointy. It doesn't stab your skin anymore. Beard oil. It's the way to go.
Is the first thing? Is it wrong that the first thing in my head is just like, yo, can we test this shit?
Can we test it? Not can you and Ashley test it by you applying some beard oil to your goatee? No. Can we test this? Brilliant. You showed up to my house today, gave me my Amazon package that was on my doorstep, and I was like, what's this? And you're like, I don't know, it's on your doorstep. Ripped it out. Oh, it's my beard oil that was supposed to arrive on like Thursday or Friday, but here it is on Sunday. So now I got fresh beard oil ready to go. Let's give her a whirl.
See, that's another thing of me being like, yay, bitch.
Oh, boy. All right, well, I already know what clip I'm throwing up on TikTok after we're done with this. Oh,
go for it, dude.
Oh, boy.
Go for it. My claim to fame.
My claim to fame. I wanted to test kissing my co-host with beard oil. I don't know if you should be happy that that's your claim to fame.
Yo, I don't care, man.
All right. Well, fair enough.
I don't care. I am who I am.
Oh, boy. Well, Ashley has said, please don't, thank you.
That was for the growing out the beard.
Oh, it wasn't for the testing the beard oil?
No, she hasn't actually said anything about that, which I'm kind of surprised about.
All right, well, let's catch up on chat here. Lord Ghostcat says, hey, I've been on more dates with Jackson than Tor. I'm legally obligated to compliment him.
That's true.
You
We've
know
had
what?
Sushi dates.
That's true. I mean, I've had sushi dates with Dalton, but I guess you probably have had more dates with him than I have, so which is fair. That is fair. Absolutely. Reason number ? Why Tor is single. Thank you, Mr.
Roasted.
Friday. I'm a little late on when you said that in response, but it doesn't really matter in what regard you mentioned that. It's probably right.
Oof.
or I guess, yeah, if it's about the beard thing, it's like, trim your beard. But I had a beard before a relationship. Now you're asking me to change for this relationship. For anybody out there, to be clear.
Satire.
Satire. I've had long hair and a beard before getting into a relationship, and we had a discussion about it, and I have shaved my head down to short hair and completely cut off my beard. I have no problem doing that if it makes someone happy and more comfortable in a relationship.
We're shit disturbers, and we're currently disturbing said shit.
Yes, absolutely. Just for full clarification. I will say, though, in that regard, though, I think I'd be a little bit different on it because now I finally gotten to like a hairstyle and a beard style that I fully enjoy.
That looks great.
So thank you very much for that. Because usually like my hair goes between like just being average short or just long all around. It's never had like its own style except for when it was a mullet back in high school.
No!
But we don't talk about those years.
No, those never existed.
It was
that was a fever dream.
Oh yeah, fever
Share
dream.
Between us.
Absolutely, yeah. Nobody else.
Nobody
in high school. Just us.
You cannot find it on iTunes. No, it's not there.
For fuck's sake. For anybody who's curious, search up Perfect World by Torsten Ogle on iTunes or Spotify. Cover art's there. You'll find it. So anyways, don't buy the song. But yeah, so that's like the only time I really had a hair quote unquote style. Otherwise, I kind of just let it grow long or just keep it short and just kind of do that thing. And then same with the beard. I've either just had it like grow or just trimmed like down to my face kind of thing. So now it's really because I've had no live shows because, well, virus.
Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, thanks, COVID. So there's been no film productions or theater productions for like almost 2 years now. So I've been allowed to just do whatever you want with your beard, do whatever you want with your hair. And also I'm no longer in like the food production industry or anything. So it's like do whatever you want with your beard, do whatever you want with your hair. There's no movies or theater shows coming up where it's like, well, you definitely don't look like the actor we're trying to cast because, well, you're a fucking bargain bin Viking. So
Bargain bin Viking. Holy shit. You just roasted the fuck out of yourself in the most classy way possible. Holy shit.
Well, because that's the comment I get everywhere. I went on a Tinder date, and we just went down to like the Mission Creek just to do a walk around, and of course I look like this. Granted, me, I was a little bit cleaner. I wasn't in a tank top or anything, but like my hair and everything looked like this. And I walk in, and we walked past this random old couple, and the old man just stops dead in his tracks, looks and points at me, and I
No way.
He full on dead stopped pointing at me, and I was like, what's gonna happen here?
No.
Like, I assumed it was because we were walking without masks, because it was pre-virus time, and it was like we were walking out without masks, and I was like, great, we're outside. I'm gonna have to get this comment or something like that. But he stopped dead in his tracks, pointed at me, and he was like, "Were you on Vikings?" I had to stop for a second. I was like,
I
wish. But I was like, no, I just really like the show. And he was like, you look like that guy's son. And I knew he was talking about Ragnar Lothbrok, Bjorn Ironside, which is Ragnar Lothbrok's son, who has a hairstyle very much to mine.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, thank you. No, that wasn't me. And he was like,
bitch, I wish I was.
Yeah, I was like, I'm fucking killed to be that. That would be fucking awesome. But he was like, you look just like him. And then like they started walking away, and he started talking to his wife, and he's like, you have to watch that show. That was a great show. As they walked away, and I felt like I was half flattered, but at the other half, really felt awkward in this awkward place now, because I met this girl for the first time that was talking a little bit, and just to be like, were you from Vikings? And it's like, oh great. And
no.
And then I had to continue my walk with this girl, and she was like, so what's Vikings? And I had to explain the show and everything because she had no idea. She was just like, oh, the dude's just done that hairstyle that all guys do, where they shave their heads really short and then they have a little bit of fluff on the top. Mine's take it to the utmost extreme. And she was just like, all right, it's a style. But then I had to explain, well, the characters in the show have this kind of hairstyle, most of them do, and then there's Bjorn, who has it to the extreme and everything. So yeah, it was an interesting conversation. But yeah, so that's why I say.
Where did the discount bid Viking come from?
Well, because I'm not an actual Viking. I'm half Danish and then half Canadian. So
I half expected either the man to say that.
Oh.
Or your date.
Or the date. Oof.
Hey, you don't know, man.
Oh, that's fair. But no, it's essentially just coming from myself, because like I'm not. Like my dad's side of the family is Danish, which you of course but my mother's side is born and raised here in Canada. So I'm not true Danish or like Norwegian or anything. Only half of me is. So that's why I say like I'm not true Viking.
Discount bin.
Yeah,
got it.
I'm the bargain bin Viking. I'm the one that you go sifting through, pull out, and has the giant $2 sticker on a film that you were really excited about back when you were a kid, and then rewatch it and you go, man, this film's ass. That's me.
Oh. Damn, dude.
Yeah.
You don't got to roast yourself that bad.
Speaking of films that I thought were amazing,
but
are actually ass, Aragon.
Motherfucker.
I rewatched Aragon recently because I remember loving the shit out of that movie. I still haven't read the books. I honestly don't know if I ever will. Not because I have anything against the books. I just have other books that I like to read. But I'm maybe eventually I'll get to them. But I rewatched the movie again because I just wanted to see if it was as good as I remember. Again, without the knowledge of the book, because I haven't read the book, so I have no pretense back there. It is not as good as I remember, but I still don't consider it a bad film. I think at most it's a meh film. I think my biggest issue with it is the lead role is not great. I think they could have got a better actor just in terms of acting capabilities, is mainly it. And then, I mean, I love John Malkovich. He played the evil king in the movie, whose name I can't remember. I love him as an actor.
Oh, man, I can't remember either.
But just the king role felt very stale.
Galatorix.
Sure.
That was the name.
Sure. But just the lead role or not the lead role, the king role just felt very stale and boring to me.
There wasn't anything there. It was just like, oh, me, I'm evil.
Yeah, it's a very stereotypical, I am the evil king. Which, I mean, it's Aragon, so everything can have that stereotypical feel to it. It doesn't have to be like Game of Thrones where everything's like super in depth and detailed. There's like
absolutely.
gray moral area or anything because it's Aragon.
Oh, there was no gray moral area.
Yeah, it was very
the king
clear.
was very, very much an evil guy.
Yeah, and like his henchman was very, very much an evil dude who floated and flew around on a very evil, shadowy dragon monster.
Which never fucking exists.
Oh, that doesn't exist?
No!
Oh, I thought it was dope.
He fucking breaks into the middle of the city while everyone's fighting, and then everyone goes to try and kill him down there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and the city is like gigantic, and it's in its own like crater.
Oh, yeah, well, that's kind of in a crater. It was more of a valley than a crater kind of thing, but...
The books are really good, man.
Well, I mean, everyone says that about books that have been turned into films, that the books are better, so...
In this case, it doesn't even come close.
Oh, well, I'll take your word for it, because, again, I've never read the book, but I wanted to rewatch it, because I was like, I had fond memories of loving that movie, but again, as, like, not even a
15, 14.
pre-teenager who absolutely loved the shit out of dragons and didn't know anything about the book. That was the greatest fucking movie ever. Plus, I really enjoyed the actor who played like the king's henchman. I can't remember his name.
I could see him.
But yeah, you can visualize the guy with all the face paint who rode the shadowy dragon that didn't exist. But I love that actor because he was in the full Monty. And I don't think you even know what that movie is.
Nope.
That's fair. It's an old movie about men who are on hard times, so they turn into strippers to make money. It's hilarious. It's fun. Yeah.
Depending on when you watch that might make a lot of things kind of like click into place.
What do you mean?
How you acted in high school?
Oh, actually, I got in trouble because of the full Monty. That's a fun story. So the full Monty is I believe, is a 14A rating.
Surprising. All right,
surprising.
Sure.
Well, I mean, it's about, there is no actual nudity. The most, like, quote-unquote nudity you see is, like, bare butts.
Nice.
Kind of thing. But, no, it takes place somewhere in America where they don't speak proper English. Like, they say ta instead of thanks. So they'll be like, ta very much. I don't know where but somewhere in America where they have, like, a little bit of a different speaking of English. But... The phrase bastard is used all the time throughout the entire movie.
Bastard
everyone calls everyone bastard in that way. Not like bastard, no, bastard. So
kind of like Oregon.
Yeah, kind of like Oregon in that, pompous bastard kind of way. So
Good old Oregon.
But so everyone says it in that way, and me being the age that I was, I knew bastard was not a nice word.
But it wasn't technically a swear.
Yeah, I didn't put bastard on the same playing field as fuck. It was just a different phrase of saying you're mean to me. And of course, like, I didn't think there was anything problem because, again, I watched this with my parents. So I was like, it's not like I wasn't allowed to watch this movie. I laughed along with it with my parents. And then I went to school and played recess, and I can't even remember who it was, but I called someone a bastard, and one of the teachers out on the recess field heard me and was like, don't use that word. You cannot use that word. No, sorry. No. That's not exactly what happened. I lied. So what happened is I went to the top of a slide, and I wanted to slide down the slide, but there was some kid that was sitting at the top of the slide, and they weren't moving.
So you called them a bastard?
So I called them a bastard to get them to move down the slide. But I didn't mean it as like...
How old were you?
This was back in like, what was that school? I don't know if you know. You must have known the school. It was in Whitecourt. It was,
Central?
No.
Percy?
The school you go to before Percy. Because Percy Baxter is the one, like, the school of the stars, right? 6 to 8?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the school just before Percy.
That would have been Central. Or,
I don't think it was Central.
It was the other one. Pat Hardy, yeah.
Pat Hardy. That was it. Yes, it was at Pat Hardy, so it would have been grade 5 before I went to Percy Baxter School of the Stars.
Right. I forgot about Pat Hardy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was K to 5. It was so a while ago. So it was grade 5 Pat Hardy. And yeah, but I didn't mean it to say it in like any kind of malicious intent because I thought it was just another phrase.
You just called him
so I just called this kid a bastard because he wouldn't slide down the slide. I wanted to slide down the slide and he wouldn't move. So I called him a bastard and he slid and he started crying and he ran off. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I get to slide down the slide now.
I get to slide down the slide now. But good old grade 4 Torsten just goes,
wee. But no, and then so he went over to one of the kids or one of the teachers that were like, monitoring us on recess. And that's where it came over. It was like, you cannot call people bastards. It's a bad word and everything. Where did you even learn that word? And I was like, it's from the Full Monty. Like, because that's what I was like. And she had no idea what I was talking about. She was like,
Of course not.
What? And I was like, it's a movie. And she was like, we're going to have a talk. And she called my parents. It's like, your son's using the term bastard. And they immediately knew where I got that word from. It's because I watched the Full Monty. So I had to have a talk when I got home. It was like, just because I use it in that movie doesn't mean you can use it at school. And that's when I realized, bastards on the same playing field as fuck. Got it.
Nice. And then here we are. Laughing about it.
Bastard.
Bastard.
I don't even know how we got onto that subject, but there we go. There's a little bit of, my previous history.
Movies.
Oh, yeah, movies. I was going to ask, what do you think is your favorite book to film adaptation? And while you think about that, I'm going to catch up on Twitch chat. So Ethereal Ashley goes, I was about to bring up iTunes. How dare you? We don't talk about the iTunes song. Ethereal Ashley goes, wait, he admitted it. It was bad. Oh my God, that's a miracle. Jackson is correct. The original movie was set in Sheffield, England.
For the Monty.
Oh, for Full Monty. Oh, wait, it was in England?
That sounds about right.
I guess that would make sense why they spoke a different type of English and said ta instead of thanks. I assumed it was a different part of America that was like New York that's like overrun by Irish people. And then you have like half the people saying, oh yeah, my father's Irish, and he's actually like 1/18th Irish kind of thing. I think it sounded something similar to that. But all right, cool. It's in England. That makes much more sense. That makes sense why it's ta and, it's not just some faction of America.
Top of the morning, Toy.
Yeah, top of the morning. Bastard.
To answer your question, I don't really have any because I haven't watched anything that's been like that.
Fair. Well, I can think of a couple that you've watched, but I don't know if you've read both the book and seen the films for them at all.
Like what?
Game of Thrones. You've at least seen season 1 of Game of Thrones, which followed the book one to a T.
That it did, and it was all right, I guess.
Fair enough. Yeah, you never really continued, which is hilarious. You caught me on to Game of Thrones, and then I went and watched every bit of it. I mean, for those of you watching the stream, I have 3 Game of Thrones banners in my room, Stark, Greyjoy, and Targaryen. And then you were just like, and never watched anything past season 1.
Well, I was reading the books already, so I knew everything.
But it was completely different after season 1. It was like season 1 followed it right to a T as the book, and then it went completely separate directions.
Oh, well, then fuck that bullshit.
Yeah, there are characters who died off in the books that were alive way up until like the very end of the season. And like vice versa, there were characters that were alive in the books that died off way early in the shows. Different storylines. It was completely, utterly different past season 2 onward. So there were aspects of it that were still the same, and certain key moments that were still the same from the books that they kept. But yeah, it was completely different. And then season 8, we don't talk about season 8. Actually, hot take for everybody who's watched season 8 of Game of Thrones. I didn't hate it. It wasn't great by any means. It definitely had its flaws. Holy shit, did it have its flaws. But in terms of how it ended, I was okay with it. I was kind of miffed, but I was like, all right. It is.
I got nothing for you, man.
Yeah, it is what it is kind of thing. But I mean, I can also fully understand the vehement what's the word I'm trying to use here? Backlash that they got online. And I agreed with like almost every bit of it. But at the same time, I was like, but at least the ending that we got was okay. It was decent.
Did it like tie everything up in
No,
a neat little bow?
absolutely not.
Well, then what the fuck?
But, okay, well, see, their way of tying things up in a neat little bow was
killing everyone.
Well, that's one. There was 2 ways they tied up everything. One, the ones that couldn't have everything tied up died.
Nice.
And the ones that didn't die got sent away to never be seen again. And that's how the show ends. It was like, what happened to them? Who knows? That's for you to decide.
That's for Game of Thrones 2.
Well, ironically,
no.
I'm joking. But not entirely. There's a Game of Thrones prequel show being made.
Oh.
Yeah. There's not a sequel show. It's a prequel show. So Game of
Doesn't
Thrones
make
2,
any sense.
sure, but not really.
Game of Thrones, but Game of... I don't know.
You had a thought.
I had a thought,
and then you became
it's gone.
brain dead, just like your Necrons.
Yup.
Bingo.
Like good old warriors.
Good old warriors. So, but yeah, that was essentially how it ended, and I was kind of like, but at the same time, you know what? It was what it was. I liked it for what it was. And I haven't gone back and watched it because I know as soon as I start watching it again, I'm going to watch the whole fucking thing. And, you know, they're an hour per episode. So it's not
full hour?
a full hour, not 40 minutes, an hour. So
I'm good.
yeah, I mean, I love it. It's so good. But holy shit, it's a lot of cinema to watch.
Ashley and I were going through the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe from the beginning.
Yeah, as you mentioned.
Yeah, we are currently on Captain America Winter Soldier.
Nice. That is one of my favorite ones.
Really?
Winter Soldier.
I hated the first one.
Well, the first, like Captain America,
The very
first
first Captain America.
Red Skull was brilliant. Hugo Weaving as Red Skull is the best.
As a whole, it didn't hit right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like it doesn't feel like a superhero movie for whatever reason. Like it just didn't have enough. You know?
Well, I guess Captain America's superpower is that he's super strong.
And that's it.
Well,
Captain America's lame.
Well, I mean, we also...
I'm not lying.
We're biased. We're Canadian.
Absolutely we are.
But yeah, no, Winter Soldier I thoroughly enjoy because, I mean, Winter Soldier is one of those rare times where Marvel decides to go dark. And
Dark World, we actually both loved, by the way.
Dark World? What?
Dark World. Thor.
Oh, Dark World. You guys love Dark World?
Yeah, it's one of our top ones.
Yes! God, finally!
I loved it.
No
it was
one
great.
likes Dark World, and I feel so bad all the time because I'm like, I love Dark World, and everyone's like, no, Dark World is the worst Marvel movie ever, and I was like, I hate you all.
Sorry, that's the first Captain America.
That's like your least favorite film?
That was our least. We give it a 4.5 out of 10.
Holy shit.
As she said.
That's surprising.
And yes, Red Skull was the best part.
Yeah, well, because Hugo Weaving is just great.
Yeah, Hugo Weaving's just awesome.
Hugo
no matter
Weaving's
what
awesome.
he's doing.
Yeah.
I still haven't showed her V. I need to show her V. What?
Disappointed in you.
What?
We passed November and you didn't sit her down to watch V for Vendetta on November 5th.
What do you mean? We haven't gotten to...
Oh, wait, no, you guys weren't together in November.
No!
Never mind.
I wasn't here in November.
November's coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, you cannot watch it until November 5th. You guys...
I mean, we have the entire fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe to go through,
that's
so
true.
don't worry about it.
That's true, absolutely, including the shows now that are happening. So
yes, like, because we were actually wondering, like, if we wanted to... Because we also watched WandaVision, which was pretty good. I liked it. And we wanted to watch Loki.
Yep.
But we were like, should we watch everything to get up to Loki? And that's what we decided to do.
Yeah. Oh, and that's what she had asked me when I drove her from work to one day when we were sitting there. She was like, should we watch everything before watching Loki? And my response was, you will get a lot more if you do. But if you don't, you have a basic understanding, like you've watched the Avengers films and a couple films, you'll still get it. But there'll be like a couple of small key aspects that you'll be like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. So it's if you want the full broad understanding, then yeah, watch everything. But if you just want, I just want to watch Loki for Loki, you know, I just like Tom Hiddleston, then yeah, you can watch
Which is awesome. Like,
yeah.
He does a really good Loki.
He is a very good Loki. He has gone on record and said that if Marvel gave him a contract to play Loki until he died, he'd sign it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So he loves playing Loki. Where you have other actors that are like 8 films in Marvel, I'm done. Like Idris Elba hated playing Heimdall. He hated it.
Oh yeah.
Heimdall's the
I know.
Yeah. He hated playing Heimdall.
Really?
He hated it. But to be fair,
even though Heimdall's fucking awesome.
Heimdall's dope. I loved Heimdall, and Idris Elba's like portrayal of Heimdall is fantastic. You'd never think that in his head while it's filming and everything, he's just standing there like, I fucking hate this. But also, he's got a record. The main reason that he really didn't like it is because, like, he signed up initially because it's Marvel. Like, fucking no one says no to being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But he had done the first Thor film where he filmed as Heimdall, and then he went and he did, I can't remember what the film was, but it was a true film about black slavery. And it was a true, of course, a true story film that he went and he filmed in like South America and such. And he did that for a couple of months. And he said that was a really eye-opening thing for him to film and everything. And like he said, like even though he's British, he was born and raised in Britain, so he's not like an American black man or anything. But nonetheless, it was still a big film for him to do. And then 2 weeks later, he said in his own words, and after doing such an eye-opening project like that and really getting deep and gritty involved,
do anything else?
I am now strapped to a harness on a green screen in this ridiculous costume talking about like Norse mythology and stuff, and he just felt like such an idiot. So I think that hugely played into the fact that he hated playing Heimdall, because he went from filming things about real life that really touched him in a way, and now he's in this, as he said, ridiculous getup and such, playing a fantasy film. So, which, from a standpoint, I can see why you'd be like,
Yeah.
you know, you go from one extreme thing to another extreme thing, and you're like, I don't jive with this anymore. So, but yeah.
People grow.
Yeah, people grow, people adapt, people like to
People change.
Yeah, people like to do other things versus other things. I mean, even myself, when it comes to like film and theater stuff, I don't love doing comedy stuff. I used to really enjoy comedy, and I say that I have a theater show coming up, Emmy, Jess, and Leo Watch TV, which is very much a comedy, but it has like real like feel good moments in the show as well that counteract all the comedy stuff. But as a whole, I'd rather do more, just, you know, sci-fi, fantasy, real, just enjoyable stuff, because that's just what I crave doing more. But does that mean I'm never going to do comedy again? No, because, I mean, like I said, I'm doing comedy as we speak, coming up in September. But, so from that standpoint, I could see why Idris Elba would be like, I went from this one thing to this, and now I feel ridiculous. So, but yeah. Anywho, let's catch up on some Twitch chat here. Ethereal Ashley going, I actually kind of agree with you. I'm assuming she's talking about the way Game of Thrones ended.
Yes.
And then she went, Jackson, do we have to watch Game of Thrones after we finish the Marvel movies? Ashley, I'm going to answer that for you. Yes. Even though Season 8 was extremely divisive for the entire like population as a whole, it's still some of the best cinema I've ever seen. Some of it, every season is absolute, I can't, like, joy. Well, not even joy, like pain and suffering.
Killjoy.
Yeah, but it's just the way it's it's just really, really good cinema. I thoroughly, if you're gonna watch it with Ashley, you'll enjoy it more because you get to watch it with someone that you love. But it's it's so good. Game of Thrones, even with the way it ended, I still think is a show absolutely worth watching because it's so fucking good. But Red Skull was the best part of the movie. All in all, we gave it a 4.5. Dark World tied with Captain Marvel. I never watched Captain Marvel.
It's pretty good.
But I'm going to be honest. I'm biased. I hate the actor.
See, we get that a lot. We've heard about that, actually.
I have a real big problem with her just as a person. Her acting capabilities are okay. I find them a bit wooden from time to time. But it's just her as a person outside of her acting. I cannot stand her. And I'm biased in that regard, and that's why I didn't watch Captain Marvel, because I just can't stand the actor. So
in all, I don't think it was like absolutely like you needed to watch it. It was good, but not like, you know, oh my god, I have to see this.
Yeah, well, and that's I figured when I went in to watch like Infinity War and Endgame, because I knew Captain Marvel was going to be in that. I was like, I'm probably going to miss out on a couple of things. But even when she came in, and I was like, okay, so I missed her introduction, really, and like what she's all about. But other than that, I was like,
she's
still perfectly
Marvel
made sense.
Superman. That's all you got to know.
Yeah, really, pretty much. So, I mean, that's at least what she acted like. So, but yeah, I'm biased on that. I just don't like the actor, but that's a personal thing. We've been dating for like 5 months, bro. I'm sorry, Mr. Friday. Loki is good. Good to know. I mean, I already knew that, but good to know. Ethereal Ashley, I've watched everything as they came out. I'm not a Loki fangirl. Heimdall is best boy. Heimdall is a great character. Sucks that Idris Elba didn't enjoy playing him up until the end, but it was a great character nonetheless. Ranthus, and then he ended up in the Cats movie. What could possibly be worse? Yeah,
Oof.
What an interesting point that is, too. He goes on record talking about how he didn't like playing Heimdall and playing a ridiculous character after playing that really gritty, true story, but then he agrees and signs on to play Cats. To be fair, though, before the Cats movie, Cats was an extremely popular Broadway show. So, I mean, you sign up to do a movie without realizing what the movie is going to look like. You sign up to do...
And it looked ridiculous and terrifying.
Holy shit, Uncanny Valley the whole way through, which you know what the Uncanny Valley is.
Absolutely not.
Long and short of it, Uncanny Valley is when you're looking at something that looks, you know it's fake, but it looks way too real. Like the human being of cats. You're looking at it, you're like, you know it's fake, but it looks
too disturbingly real.
It's too disturbingly real. Perfect way to describe it: robots that are being made to look more and more like humans.
Yeah,
that is a perfect example of Uncanny Valley.
Very, very, very unsettling.
Yeah, that's the perfect example of Uncanny Valley, where you look at something and you're like, I know this is a robot. I know up here it is fake, but looking at it, it looks real. That's Uncanny Valley.
And then it moves in like slightly wrong ways.
Yeah, it just ever so slightly, a little bit more jittery and stiff and everything. It's just those little aspects where you're like, I know this is fake, but it looks too real, and like that's
Shit's
Uncanny
too
Valley.
real.
Yeah. So that's where we get there. Actually, we don't talk about the Cats movie. Oh, okay. Well, we'll just move right along from that. Arinthus, it causes too much cringe, and it's at its very mention.
He's right.
Fair enough. Mr. Friday, I've never seen Game of Thrones. You should change that because it is a fantastic show. Lord Ghost Cat, imagine being biased in a film setting. Right?
Kappa.
Uncanny Valley example, Polar Express. Right, Polar Express is another one of those movies where like
I get that. I've seen it.
Well, have you seen Beowulf as well?
No.
Okay, Beowulf is another one of those movies where everything was CGI and the actors were CGI, but like so to the point where like as soon as they showed up in characters, like that's Angelina Jolie, that's Anthony Hopkins, but they're CGI, and it's like that's the actor, but it's not because it was CGI. So in the same expression like of Polar Express, they were just so realistic looking, even though you knew it was fake. Aranthus, it's so very fake, but it looks real enough to be utterly unsettling. Yeah, exactly. So, with all that being said and done, Mr. Jackson.
Hi.
We have reached 7:00 p.m. 7:00 p.m.
We started late.
7:02 p.m. That is true. How long have we been live? We've been live for about, we got about 10 minutes to go.
Exactly.
That's right. We got a little bit of time. So,
don't be cutting us now.
Let's go ahead and take it to our people watching the podcast live here on twitch.tv. If you have any questions or topic suggestions you would like us to talk about or get our opinions on, be sure to voice them in the Twitch chat. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I appreciate it. Once again, if you're listening to this podcast after it has gone live on either iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, which is the same thing as iTunes, I don't know why I said that, or Pocket Cast or Anchor, or wherever you listen to your podcast, if you would like to watch it live and voice in the chat room with everybody, be sure to follow us on twitch.tv/wingsandriffspodcast. And if you would like to support us even further, you can always check out the merch store, which is linked down below, and buy up one of our Wings and Wrist stickers. They're about $3 roughly, and designed by our very own Tora Dasushi. Get one of those. And if you enjoyed the podcast, be sure to share it with all your friends and family and let them know just how cool we are. You know it. We know it. You've listened all the way to the end, so one small part of you also knows it to be true. With that being said, let's take it to the Twitch chat. Pants, yes or no?
No.
We're both sitting here in shorts.
Exactly.
But that's also because we live in Kelowna, and everything around us is on fire, and everything is hot.
You're goddamn right.
I don't know how well this is coming across the microphones. I really hope it's not too bad, so I apologize for anybody listening on the podcast side if everything is just surrounded by fan noises. But we have quite literally 1, 2, 3 different fans running in this little room alone.
Trying to keep us from cooking.
Pretty much. I mean, we have a bucket with a hole cut out of it at our feet with a bunch of ice blocks put inside of it, and then a hole cut out at the top of the bucket lid with a fan on it, just to makeshift, scuffed.
Extremely scuffed.
Extremely scuffed. What's the word I'm looking for here? Air conditioner. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
AC. Armor class.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. Yes, we have an extremely scuffed bucket for our AC. I mean, what's a bucket AC, like 8, 7?
Probably.
Something like that. So to answer your pants, yes or no, temperature depending. When it comes to girls, though, dresses or skirts. I'm sorry, but sundresses are so cute. I love sundresses. They're beautiful. In the winter, I mean, the girls in skirts in the winter still look great.
Sure.
Jackson,
but they usually have the yoga pants underneath.
That's true. But you know what? That's fine. You got to keep your legs warm. I'm not asking you to freeze out here. So, but yeah, I'd say pants, weather depending. But when it comes to girls, I love me some frilly dresses and skirts and stuff. It looks cute. You look cute in them. It's adorable.
Just wear a kilt.
Like wear a kilt. Yeah, wear a kilt. God, I wish I could wear a kilt. I mean, I'd order a kilt just to wear one, but I'm not Irish, so people would question me. I'm like we mentioned, I'm a bargain bin fucking Viking. I am no part of me is Irish in any way, shape, or form, or even Scottish. Wait, it's Scotland that does kilts, not Irish. Fuck.
Good job. You just offended two people, two types of people at once.
There's someone out there listening to this podcast like, right, you fucking what, mate?
I'll bash your head in.
I'll bash your fucking head in. That's
swearing me, mum.
Now that's English. Fuck.
Here
Bastard.
we go.
Anywho, no pants, best pants. Oh. Ashley, keep talking about me. It boosts my ego. Were we talking about her?
It's hot.
What? Oh, it's hot? We're just talking about the temperature?
Yeah.
So she took that upon herself?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm confused. I am also turning into a Necron and becoming a fucking dead brain.
One of us.
One of us. Mr. Friday goes, Ethereal Ashley is the best. Ashley goes, thank you, Alex. Aranthus says, just wear a kilt. Mr. Friday is Scottish, not Irish. Thank you. I figured that out. I fixed that up right and proper. Ashley, reminder that Tor called pounds Guinness dollars. Right. Yes. The British do not use pounds as a currency. They use Guinness dollars.
I'm shaking my head here.
If you want to know where that happened, be sure to follow myself at WinglessValkyrie on Twitch.tv and all my other socials. And also, while you're at it, be sure to follow Riffs on Twitter at Twitter.
I don't use my Twitter.
But you have one.
Barely.
I don't even. Do you even remember the login information? For
Absolutely
your Twitter?
not.
Didn't think so. Unless you're like one of those fools that uses like the same password for everything. I used to, and then I got hacked, so now I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, losing $300 that got spent on V-Bucks money in ironically ironically Ireland didn't make me feel great.
Oh no.
Yeah. It was a huge scam. The person that logged in my PayPal logged in from America and pulled out $300 from my PayPal, which is linked to my bank account, and then sent it to another account in Ireland, and in that Ireland account logged in and hacked my Nintendo account, and then changed my password and everything, and then bought $300 worth of V-Bucks. So
of all things,
right? Yeah, you got a guy to hack. I mean, it could have been the same guy just using a VPN, changing where he was. Who knows? But you know, of all the things to do hacking, you got someone's bank info. You're able to get in and pull money from their bank account. Hallelujah! Let's go. What are you gonna do with that? $300 on V-Bucks, bruh.
Feels good.
Come on, like
you gotta get the newest skin.
Absolutely. Like if you're gonna
breakdancing Kratos.
Jesus Christ. Forgot Kratos is in fucking Fortnite. Oh no.
Was it Master Chief at that point?
He's also in there too. But
I know, and I hate it.
I mean, Predator is also in there.
I hate it all.
There's so many people in, like fucking Thanos, John Wick, Predator, Kratos, Master Chief. There's a couple of others that I'm probably forgetting that are also in there.
I don't care. We're stopping talking about Fortnite.
All right, you got it. I mean, Fortnite's basically dead now. Not a whole lot of people.
Good.
It's really died down in popularity.
Good. It's bad.
Oh, thanks for reminding me to change my YouTube password. I got you, Ashy. As well as reminding you to change your YouTube password, I am also finally, once we're at the end of this podcast here, going to remind you that if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, be sure to share it with your friends and family who also think they would enjoy podcasts like this. If you want to support us, be sure to follow us on all our social medias. We have a YouTube, which will be a full uncut version of the podcast, as well as TikToks, which will be showcasing clips anywhere between a few seconds to full 3 minutes of highlights from the podcast, so you can check us out there. Of us. One of those is absolutely going to be the clip of talking about right. I was going to say the full Monty, but no, there's also
that one.
There's also beard
smooch.
oil. Yeah.
Come on, give me a smooch.
Give me a smooch. Let me see how fluffy and soft that beard oil really is.
Hope we don't get tangled.
Oh no. I got tangled in our mustaches. Oh Lord. No. If we both use beard oil, that won't happen.
Hey. We're definitely not sponsored, but we should be.
Definitely not sponsored, but hey, if a beard oil company wants to reach out, like Beardo Bounty or even the company that I just got through Amazon, I can't remember what it's called, but if anyone wants to reach out and sponsor us, we'll take a beard oil sponsor. You got it. We may talk about fantasy and tabletop games and Warhammer and such like that.
D&D.
Yeah,
all that good shit.
But we'll take a fucking beard oil sponsorship. Absolutely.
Why the hell not? We both have like beardish.
Yeah.
I mean, you have more of a beard. I have facial hair.
I mean, at the end of the day, if a company wants to reach out and give us money to talk about their brand, as long as it's not, some slave labor thing, mining blood diamonds or something.
Or the horny bard.
Yeah, or the horny bard from Etsy. I don't know. I might take a sponsorship from the horny bard on Etsy.
I'll let you try those out.
Yeah.
That'll be your half. You can take all the money from that.
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. Hey, Jackson, so we got a sponsorship. Oh, who is it? Skillshare? NordVPN? Nah, horny bard.
Oh, God, no. They sent us Frank.
Yeah, they sent... not only did they give us money to talk about their products, they also sent some review products.
Oh, God, no.
I mean, we talked about trying the beard oil kissing. What else are we going to do? Nothing that doesn't break Twitch TOS. Okay? Don't worry, Twitch. We're fine. Holy. I couldn't imagine that ever happening. But now since I've said it, the universe is going to respond in kind.
Universe is just like, hey, look at these idiots.
Yeah. These guys don't think we'll do this. Psych. Actually, Jackson, do we need to talk? He already said he wouldn't take the money from the sponsorship, so I think you're okay.
I did say that. I did say that would be all you, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
All you.
I might, you know what? I could even drive that out and be like, hey, since I don't have to share this profit with my co-host, you want to toss me a little bit more? And I'll give you a real good rating. All right, well, that's about to go wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for coming in and tuning to the Wings and Riffs podcast. We had a fun time. I really enjoyed doing this once again here in person, and it's going to be here in person. This podcast will be live every second Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yo, you should tell them what you're doing on the other weekend.
Oh, right. Since I guess we're talking about D&D, we can talk about that here. If you guys, I mean, this is going to be part of shilling out both of us in our side projects, but if you guys want to see us more and you want to see myself and Ethereal Ashy in a live Dungeons & Dragons campaign streamed right here at twitch.tv, be sure to follow, I believe it's Tabletop City is the Twitch channel.
Or is it Adventure Dice?
I don't know. It's one of those two. Ethereal Ashley will get me the proper link here in a moment. But if you'd like to see us play Dungeons & Dragons live, both of us as players, sadly not featuring Riffs, but it will have myself and Ethereal Ashley, who we've been talking about here on chat. That will be happening every second Sunday as well, starting August 1st, over at Terminal City Convention on twitch.tv. Again, that's Terminal City Convention. I'll be sure to add a link to that in the description of whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on, so you can go ahead and check that out immediately. Should be fun. I'm really excited. All I know about it is that there is no cap to like when we're supposed to end. It's just we're playing for the sake of playing, and it just goes until
Which is both a good and a bad thing.
It's both a good and a bad thing. I mean,
we're calling it good because they're going to be playing for a while.
Probably. I mean, that is the hope. We're going to be playing it for a while. The only thing I know about it is that, not really spoilers, it takes place in a fantasy version of Vancouver. And
nice.
Yeah, the map is basically, they took Vancouver and they fantasized it. So
you know what? That's cool.
Yeah, it was real neat and interesting. And early parts of the campaign are going to deal with the Fae a bit. That's all we know.
Ooh.
So should be some interesting stuff there.
That's going to get real fucky-wucky.
Yeah, so it's going to be really...
Timey-wimey.
Probably
bullshit,
but it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. So really excited for that. Ethereal Ashley, if you could just toss me the link in a private chat instead of getting it muted on Discord or not Discord on Twitch, then I can throw them in the description. Appreciate you. If y'all watch the charity streams, it's the same land we played in there. Exactly. If any of you watch the charity live streams we did, it's with the same company and same universe.
Nice.
Fantasy Vancouver.
Oh, so might even run into your old characters.
Possibly. I doubt it, though, considering the DM is not part of this ongoing campaign. So most likely not.
Your DM, anyway.
Yeah, my DM is not part of it, so most likely not. But nonetheless, so if you want to check that out, it will be over at Terminal City Convention. Again, link is down below. If you want to watch either one of us in our respective things, I myself have my own YouTube channel where I try to post one video per week talking about anything fantasy related. I have a couple videos up. You can go ahead and check. Riffs himself does not have a YouTube, but he does have a Twitch that he streams to semi-regularly whenever you have a chance. Yeah.
I try. My living situation has changed. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to get that time in there. And having a girlfriend kind of takes away a lot of that time.
Yeah.
In all in the good way. Just saying.
Just
to throw that out there.
Yeah, just to make sure,
it's good.
Safety precautions in a good way. Absolutely a good way. Don't sue me. It's a good way. But yes, you do have a twitch.tv/Riffs6 if you want
Yes,
to
I
check
do.
out some stuff. Primarily stuff like Hades or Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
But
that's what it's been lately. And wait, can I sue? No, you can't.
Can I sue my boyfriend?
But yeah, it's mainly whatever I'm feeling at the time. It literally could be like Dalton and I were like, yeah, we're gonna beat each other up in Smash or something.
That's true. Could be
Which
that.
we've done, and it's been fun.
There you go.
You know, it's whatever I'm feeling at the time, which can be almost anything.
Yeah. Same thing goes for my Twitch as well. I kind of just stream whatever I like to. I am planning on streaming the entire Kingdom Hearts series.
Oh God!
Every single game, not just 1, 2, and 3. No, all the games in between.
Like every little in between.
Even the DS games.
Oh no!
Every one of them is what I would like to start doing, because I put a poll up on my TikTok. Check me out on TikTok, WinglessValkyrie, and just asking if that would be something people would be interested in, and it was an overwhelming yes. So I was like, sweet, I'll start doing that, just because, you know, it's something fun and interesting to do, and now that, you know, every single Kingdom Hearts game is on PC, it's perfectly easy. And
I
cool
did
to
not
do.
know that.
I thought I told you about that.
You may have, and I completely forgot about it.
Every single Kingdom Hearts game, from the first one to
See,
the last one, is now available on PC.
That makes more sense, because it's like, how are you going to stream a DS?
Yeah, no, they've converted it all to PC. The one downside, Epic Store.
No.
Yeah. But, oh well. I mean,
Fortnite, no.
but I already had the Epic Store because I had to get Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it was also only on the Epic Store. So that didn't matter to me. It was just
Ubisoft.
yeah. But if I could have it all on Steam, that just makes it easier.
Yeah.
But I already don't. Like, I have the Epic Store for Assassin's Creed and Kingdom Hearts, and then I also have the Windows Store for Sea of Thieves.
Yep.
So, oh well, is what it is. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a review. And if you're listening to this on Anchor, you can leave even a voice message, which we can listen to and respond to live on the next time we stream this podcast. If you'd like to check us out on all our supported channels, they are all linked down below. If you want to follow the podcast, it has a YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. If you want to check us out there in full form content on YouTube or short form content and clips and highlights on TikTok. Without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, if you want to support us more, I have real bad at outros. I should get better at this. But lastly, if you want to support us more, we have a sticker that you can get in the merch down below. Wings and Riffs sticker designed by Tora de Sushi. And, you know, flap that thing around, put it on your notebook, put it on your forehead, put it as a bumper sticker on your car. We don't care. Put it somewhere. Just take us on Twitter or something like that, and it'll be fun and dope. But without ado, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to enjoy your day, your evening, your afternoon, and we will see you guys all next time. Thank you so much. Have yourselves a good night.
Goodbye.